Deebo Samuel is back with the San Francisco 49ers. What a shocker. Who could have saw that coming? Welcome back to my channel, everyone. Today, I'm obviously going to be reacting to that signing, that reuniting between the 49ers and Samuel. I'm also going to go over how the 49ers are actually better now that they signed Samuel, sliding in for Ricky Pearsall, and then posing the question about, is Ricky Pearsall's NFL career at a crossroads? This is a little bit scary situation for him to be in if he is going to inevitably, what seems like, miss the 2026 season. But let's dive right into it. Deebo Samuel back with the 49ers. 1 year deal worth up to $7 million. And look, this was pretty much obvious from the moment it was announced that the 49ers are concerned with Pearsall's knee injury being swelled up in relation to the PCL that he hurt last season. He's being held out of training camp, and they're considering all options. And anytime you hear considering or weighing all options, you know surgery's on the table, and that's probably is what's the route they're going to take. I mean, is anyone going to be surprised if you hear today, tomorrow, in a few days, the 49ers have announced Ricky Pearsall is getting surgery on his knee. He will be out for the 2026 season. I think at this point, that's the expectation. I'd be shocked if anything else happens other than that, because that's essentially what this move, reuniting with Deebo Samuel, indicates. You know, they wouldn't have signed him in the first place if that wasn't on the table, if that wasn't the anticipation, the expectation. Because otherwise, why wouldn't you have signed Samuel beforehand? You know, if you really wanted to, if you really were interested and wanted to add him on your team. And the answer is, this is indicative. They said the quiet part out loud. We do not expect Pearsall to be back or will be gone for the majority of the season. Hence why we brought in Samuel. We want him to slide in immediately. He's the only one that makes sense to bring in from the free agent market, because as much as Stephon Diggs, I think, is still a pretty solid player. It's just, I mean, obviously you're going to bring in Samuel. He knows the system. He's a fit. You don't have to do too much. He'll probably just take like a week or two at most to get reacclimated into the offensive scheme, and he'll be clicking on all cylinders again. And look, he's the only team that can get, the 49ers are the only team that can get the most out of Samuel to make him be the best version of himself. He had a decent year last year. Probably would have thought it could have been better, but considering he was without starting quarterback Jaden Daniels for a good bulk of games, he did a pretty fine job. You know, he's clearly not the same player anymore. His speed and some explosiveness is gone, but he's still good enough to be effective in the shorts and intermediate to give you some contributions, some impact. If you're the 49ers, I'd stay away from that wide back role. Do not give him in the backfield anymore. Again, his speed, his explosiveness is gone, and I think some of those plays have been telegraphed in the past where now it's become too obvious. So you keep him into that role, just kick him right into where Ricky Pearsall is at, and it just makes too much sense. It makes too much sense to bring him back. And I think at this point, now that he is back, you kind of think, well, the 49ers are a better team. The 49ers are a better team with him. They just are. They are a better team with him than Ricky Pearsall. I know that may sound crazy, especially after I just said, look, Deebo Samuel's not the same player anymore. He's lost a step, even though he's still a decent talent. And Ricky Pearsall, on paper, his talent is better. He gives the 49ers more what they need right now, like that slicker, faster, cleaner route runner. But that's the thing. Pearsall's never healthy. He's not. And after seeing his knee swell up again, it's showing it's a proof indicator that, look, he was going to get hurt at some point eventually, whether his knee was going to flare up down the line or he was just going to get hurt in general. I mean, let's be real. His pattern, his history, his trend since he stepped foot into the NFL has been that he's going to miss multiple games. And the best ability is availability. And that's one thing you can say about Deebo Samuel. He only misses like 1 to 2 games every year. That's okay. We'll live with that. This is the NFL. That's pretty much as healthy as you can be. So if Deebo Samuel is going to be a player that you can depend upon every game, whereas Ricky Pearsall, it's a crapshoot, you're damn right that's an upgrade. You damn right the 49ers are a better team, because you actually have a player who's of substance, who's of some quality, that can actually go out there and give you contributions that you can rely upon, that can give you impact. Whereas Ricky Pearsall, you're just like, maybe he'll help today. Is he healthy? Probably not. He's not out there. So the 49ers are better because they can actually roll Deebo Samuel out there and help them. we're not going to play this what if game. We're going to play the what we know game. We know Deebo Samuel never gets hurt, or it's not going to miss like more than a few games a season, whereas Ricky Pearsall does. And the moment when eventually we do hear he's out for the season, he's going to play 20 games through 3 seasons. That's insane. It's pretty crazy. It's wild. And maybe the pushback would be, well, if they always wanted Deebo, he's been a free agent this whole time, why not just get him back then if this was so obvious? I mean, well, they wanted to see what they had. This was part of my argument of why I wasn't a proponent of the 49ers reuniting with Deebo Samuel entering training camp, because that made no sense to me. Like, why? You already have your vision, your expectation of what your wide receiver room is going to be with Mike Evans as the 1, Ricky Pearsall as the 2, Dejon Stribling as the 3, and then platooning the rest with Demarcus Robinson and the other young cats, Christian Kirk. But now that Pearsall is gone, that throws a wrench in your plans, because as much as the 49ers love Stribling, and apparently he's been off to a nice start in training camp, it's like, that's a lot of demand to be like, hey, Stribling, we want you to be our number 2 guy. Step up. Expedite your learning in the next few weeks. That's unfair. It's probably not realistic. They already envisioned a role from him, and I think the role that he's expected to be is that number 3 player at wide receiver, and just be a key contributor and make an impact here and there. That's more than fine for what the 49ers can expect out of a rookie in year 1. That's awesome. So now you put Deebo as the 2, because he definitely cannot be the number 1. I mean, I think that was part of the fault of why Deebo didn't flourish in 2024 is as soon as Brandon Ayuk went out, now you're looking at, what, Deebo Samuel to be your guy? Nah, that didn't work. Now you got Mike Evans, who's going to be the main draw, and Deebo Samuel's just going to fly under the radar a bit. I think that will work out nicely. That will work out too nicely. I think you can envision around 50 catches or so from Deebo Samuel. 600 yards? More? Slightly less? 3 to 6 touchdowns? That's a nice contribution for a guy you just signed at that price, last minute. It's a lot worse out there. The 49ers should be fortunate that that Deebo's been out there the whole time, because apparently, I think Adam Schefter said that the Commanders were thinking about bringing Samuel back. So just imagine if this injury happened a week or 2 later, and it's like, well, Stephon Diggs, come on down. What's going on, bro? Like, no, like they should feel fortunate. But I will admit that it is kind of laughable that the 49ers are running it back 17.0. Usually I will poo-poo that, but this one I think it's warranted. It's fair because they had no choice. When a player gets hurt, it's like that's what made sense about bringing Samuel back. That was the only way it was going to make sense. Is if you had injuries to the position and a couple players just didn't pan out, and you're just like, you know what, we're not going to waste this season, because I think the 49ers truly believe that this is their Super Bowl year. You know, they have to. All their star players are older, and speaking of that, like now that Deebo's back, I saw a good buddy of mine's, Josh Dubow, the Associated Press, said the 49ers are going to be the first team with starting on the offense, I think with 4+ key role star players on offense that are over the age of 30 or 31 or something like that since the 2003, 2004 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That pretty much says this is not going to work because of the age. I know it's different, especially because these group of older veterans are way better than those group that Dubow cites. But it is kind of indicator like, hey, if things don't go well, like no one should be shocked, because a lot of these guys are older and they have like some injury history. Christian McCaffrey, Mike Evans might have his body break down. George Kittle's coming back off a torn Achilles. Trent Williams up there in age. It's just, there's a lot of like, oh God, what can go wrong and what can go well. Like you can see where the ceiling's at, but are they actually going to hit that for the 49ers? It's a tough situation to be in, but this is the card they've been dealt. I mean, what else are we going to do? Just be like, nah, like, sorry. We can't sign Deebo just because of his age, because Ricky Pearsall can't stay healthy again. And, you know, that's just a harsh reality that the 49ers have to accept now with Pearsall, is that he's a whiff, if not a draft bust for you. I alluded to it in the previous video reacting to Ricky Pearsall's knee injury, and it's just the reality. He's a whiff, if not a bust. You don't draft players in the first round to barely give you contributions and not even start, just do anything. The only time he actually gave you guys something was the first few games last season, which is like, okay, this is the kind of Ricky we can get. Cool. Now just imagine if we get 8 more games under his belt and he ascends and develops further, but he doesn't get there. He falls on his knee. What was it, the Jacksonville Jaguars game? And just never was the same. And it's still hurting him. It's not working. You know, the 49ers thought letting him heal through the offseason, which is actually like an adequate route to take when you're dealing with the PCL injury. He had 5 months to rest, recover, and rehab, and his body just didn't work with him. And I think it's just this point, like his body is just fragile. He's just injury prone. You know, you can't rely on him. You can't depend on him. It's a wasted pick. And now when you look in hindsight, it's like Cooper DeJean was right there. And that's not really of a hindsight take because I, for one, wanted him. I'm always defensive back biased, to be honest. I even threw out Kool-Aid McKinstry as a pick they should take. God, how foolish that would have been. But maybe not because he's played more games and done a little more than Pearsall has in their early career so far. But DeJean was a great pick. And now, look, you got DeJean, who's one of the better DBs in the league, especially at a time when the 49ers needed them in 2024. But they wanted Pearsall. So, okay. It's not working out. But with this injury, that potentially his 2026 season is going to be over with, Pearsall's now facing a crossroads with his NFL career. Let's be real. This was a make it or break it season for him. He had to show health. He had to show performance. He had to show that he belonged on the roster, that the 49ers needed him. But now all he's showing to the 49ers is he can't stay healthy, that the 49ers don't need him, because if you live long enough without a player, you realize, oh, we're already adjusted without you. And we're not going to keep trying to adjust with you because odds are you're going to get hurt after 3 snaps, after 3 games, whatever. He needed this year to prove it, to change the narrative about him, to begin to start to change it, and to convince the 49ers, hey, pick up that 5th-year option on my rookie contract. But now, there's no way in hell they're going to pick it up. It'd be crazy. It would be malpractice for them to pick it up. I don't care how much they like him or believe in him. It'd be stupid. Like, everyone should poo-poo that if the 49ers were to pick up his 5th-year option. It's a waste of money. Why? Make him go into that final year of his rookie contract in 2027 and prove that he's even worth to belong in the NFL. Because that's where the crossroads at. He went from, I'm going to compete to prove that I belong to have my 49ers tenure extended, to now it's like, I got to compete and stay healthy to show that I belong in the NFL in general. What happens if he gets hurt and shows he's injury prone again in 2027? You think anyone's going to touch him with a 10-foot pole entering free agency after that year? Probably not. Or what's going to end up happening, someone's going to give him a 1-year, $2 million deal that's cheap, and that's kind of crazy for a first-round pick who was expected to be a cornerstone at the position for one of the better franchises the last 8 years. It's a huge fall from grace. Or he'll end up being a last-minute training camp addition, like that. What always ends up happening. He could either be out of the league, or that's what's going to end up happening to him. So 2027, now you go from, you just have 3 years of just like, there's nothing to like about this guy. So 2027 is so critical. This year was already critical, but now it's like, now we're changing what the context is. This is from, again, 49ers tenure, picking up your 5th-year option. Now, okay, now your option's dead, and let's see if the 49ers are going to even want to bring you back on a 1-year deal if you show promise in 2027, or they'll let you hit the market, and then someone else gives you a cheap contract, or you're going to be waiting a long time. Especially because, how old is he going to be? 28, 29 when his contract expires? If they don't pick up his 5th-year option, he's going to be older. Who's going to give him anything? Even if you give him a prove-it deal, he stays healthy for like 12 games, gives you like 700 yards. It's like, is someone going to give him more than a 2-year contract, 3-year contract at his age, and he's going to get hurt again? It's like, he's such a risk. Because even if he plays 15 games, 2027, gives you 70 catches, 900 yards, 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns, that one season doesn't erase all the negativity from his past. So he's at a huge crossroads. And as I say that, he does need those numbers. He does need those 60 to 7 catches, those 700 to 1,000 yards, those 5 to 7 touchdowns. He needs to. But most of all, he just needs to show he's healthy. Because if he's healthy, okay, he'll get that 1-year, $3.5 million deal in free agency the next year. And maybe the 49ers will bring him back. I don't know. A lot can change. But all I know is right now, it's undeniable that he's facing his NFL career at a crossroads. He's going to enter purgatory soon. And I'm liable to bet against him. Because he's shown that over and over again. And just when you think he's going to go right, watch, 27, it'll probably be like a 5-game streak where he looks great, and then boom, he gets hurt with, I don't know, his shoulder, his ankle, his toe. I don't know. Odds are something's going to get hurt. You just can't rely on him. And that's where I pound the table and harp again. The 49ers are better off with Deebo Samuel. I can't believe I'm saying that because I literally made a video like reuniting him. It makes no sense. He's not the same player anymore. But now that I've seen Pearsall get hurt again, it's like maybe I should have expected that. Maybe more people should have expected that. Like, of course Pearsall was going to miss games. You thought his third year he was going to find third year's the charm, that he was going to find that 4-leaf clover of luck or something like that? No. This is the reality. You take the player who's healthy is going to help you. So it was obvious that they were going to reunite with Deebo Samuel. He'll give them some nice little stats. It keeps the offense afloat and better. It was just too obvious. This is what it means. Pearsall's 2026 season has to be done. There's just no way at this point. So thank God Deebo Samuel's still out there. You get him on a decent deal, who can contribute some, improves your offense. And if you're Pearsall, you're 49ers, you have to like be losing confidence in this guy and not rely upon him in the future. His NFL career is definitely at a crossroads.